Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Sama here bringing you Shinobi no Ittoki, a hot or not.
Creativity. The very beginning is like an old school ninja movie, and I thought that the animation style was A1. I really enjoyed it. It brought me back to watching those types of movies as a kid. And we also found out that Ittoki, the main character, is the successor for his family of ninjas, but it's been kept a secret from him until his life ends up in serious danger. Have we seen something like this? Yeah, we've seen a bunch of things similar, but does that make it any less creative?
So, in terms of creativity, I like the fact that there's many shows and movies where you peel the veil back of reality and you see this underbelly, you see this undergrowth, and it just turns out to be ninjas here. Look, we saw it with Reborn. We saw it with all of these other animes as well. We saw it with lots of Chinese, Eastern sort of cultural movies. We saw lots of remnants and nods to that style, as well as the fact that he is clueless but skilled. It kind of reminded me of like those old school spy movies where there's a new spy in town. However, he's been training his whole life because his parents or his foster parents have got him into like martial arts, gymnastics, literally the same as Ittoki here, and basically he's a badass from jump, but he's got skills with no purpose, and they bring the purpose in the first episode, so they set the ball rolling.
Entertainment. Like I was saying, the anime used a lot of TV tropes. You know, there's a kid with power or a secret birthright, and then they find out and get thrust into basically another world without it being an isekai. The tropes make it predictable at times, but it actually doesn't take away from the enjoyment factor, I would say. It's interesting also to see a modern take on ninjas that look like it can be equally parts dark and fun and fast paced.
It didn't last long at all. It felt like a breeze, and I really wish it lasted a lot longer. I wanted to see more. So we have got some tropes, we have got some things we've seen before, we've got a little bit of predictability, and we know sort of what story they're about to tell. We don't know how they're going to get to B, but we know that A has started this way many times before. Is it entertaining? Was the pacing right? Did it feel like I wanted to see more? I guess you'll find out in the verdict.
Character development. I want to talk about Ittoki. I know it's really easy to talk about him because he's the main character. But, you know, this guy has got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot of extracurricular activities and no time for any kind of social life. I mean, he's been followed around by a family friend who makes sure that he's actually going to go to all of his classes and not try to do something fun with his friends. And the first girl that he's been interested in turns out to want to kill him. His dad has passed away. He's found out that he's meant to be the leader of his family of ninjas, and everyone he knows isn't who they said that they were. He's taking it very well for what's actually happening to him, because this is a lot of change for anyone to be going through. It's interesting that he's taking it all in stride without having that hell moment, you know?
So I want to talk about his mum. Now, his mum is badass and she's kind of bae, to be fair, but we won't talk about that. Let's talk about the facts. Look, she's in charge of the clan as it stands before Ittoki takes over. She is not only a manager of a storefront, but she's also the leader of the Iga clan ninjas. She clearly rules very well because the loyalty there is mad. Everyone respects her and she demands respect when she walks into a room. The moment that I knew that there was something untoward going on was the moment where she told her son, I do not approve of this girl that you're about to go and meet that you do not know. And obviously, we kind of knew that something was going on. We kind of knew she was trying to protect him because she's very protective, but we just didn't know how deep it went. And I like the fact that you can tell the duality of the personalities as he shifts from the public view to the secret view.
World building. So it's obviously surrounding Ittoki and his full school life. You can see that he has a mom that wants to protect him from the life that he's going to have to lead. It's really a normal world with a shadow world, which is obviously the ninja world, that have been able to stay hidden for centuries, which is very interesting because, you know, they're taking something that's actually real and incorporating it into a modern world that exists now. And I think that's really interesting.
So I want to talk about how they use the different color schemes to depict the two sides of the world. So every time we see him at school, every time we see him go to talk to his mom, every time we see him in his house, it's all light and bright colors. Every time, well, when it switched up, it got really dark really quick. And it took the girl that was the honey trap basically standing still for an inordinate amount of time in order to watch the change. You heard the music change, you saw it get darker, and then boom, we got thrusted into this ninja world that they didn't know about. Even though he was in a room, for example, when he was with all the rest of the clan and all the lights were on, you could tell the tinge that they put on the screen to show you that, yo, this isn't the normal everyday life. You ain't in Kansas anymore, baby. I thought that was brilliant use of lights, colors, technique and music in order to show the duality of the world.
Plot execution. So of course they have actually given us the plot here. The Kaga village want revenge on the Iga village because they hold them responsible for the loss of their leader, Kishinmaru. I actually suspect that this may be Itaki's dad who has passed away, because they didn't say that they murdered him, they just said that they were responsible for his death. I might be reaching here, but that's what I'm saying. And they want to basically kill the Iga successor and take over the village as revenge for their leader being lost to them.
I want to talk about the plot of the episode. So the episode had a very clear plot. Let's honey trap the successor and get rid of him. Let's find out what's going on under the veil. Let's find out who their mom really is. Like, there were so many different plot angles and goings on that they actually created a fulfilling subplot within the main whole plot of the season. And I feel like we know where this is going.
To the verdict. Creativity hot or not?
It's a massive hot for me. I don't need to say anymore.
This is a hot for me. I do think that it was creative, even though things may have been a little bit of tropes that previously used. Still really, really good. Very creative. Entertainment, hot or not?
For me, it's a hot. Look at every vampire movie. Look at everything that us blurs love. This basically calls to us. It's a hot.
It's a hot for me as well. It was very entertaining. They managed to keep it balanced throughout. Character development, hot or not?
For me, it's a hot. And it only has to do with his uncle. His name is Demigod. You know when someone's got a nickname, it's a hot.
Although I only spoke about Ittoki, all of the characters that they introduced had really good foundations for their characters. I know what kind of person his friend is, even though she barely spoke and she was barely on the screen, down to the person who was on the screen most. Great job. World building, hot or not?
It's a massive hot. I've already explained the technicalities. Aruka has explained everything else. It's a hot.
For me, this is a big, massive hot as well. I think they've done a good job. They created a good distinction, just like what Big Boy Samuel was saying with all the elements that they use. Hot. And finally, plot execution, hot or not?
I think we've done it, guys. I think we found one. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's a hot for the plot.
Me too. I mean, it's one of the few animes that manages to get you a plot in its first episode. Absolutely fantastic. So it is hot across the board. We believe that this anime is going to be hot based off of its first episode.
Let us know what you think about the first episode, guys. And if you want to DM us or chat to us, we're on Bomb Anime Insta.
And if you made it this far, thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
Peace.